Yeah, so this is my trip to Limpopo. This is probably when I just first got here. Yeah, so don't mind the shaky video. I had to try to stabilize it. It was a bumpy taxi ride. So I just had my phone out the window just to show you some of the countryside. As you can see, it stretches for miles and miles. Country, rural Africa. You know, amazing place. So I was heading up to a friend of mine's house, or a friend of mine's grandmother's house, to help the grandmother with her garden. And so here's the garden, and we just did some overturning of the soil and just helped out some little stuff, and then the rest of the time was our own. And we did a lot of hiking. You can see there's a lot of hills and valleys, waterfalls and things like that, cows. As a matter of fact, I remember at one point, there were some cows that were just walking down the street in the town. It reminded me a lot of India, that's for sure. Beautiful house in the country. There's the cows. Yeah, they just come walking. Their fate may be a little bit more heinous than what's in store for them in India. But these African cows, I mean, it's money, it's wealth to its people, so they don't treat it lightly. They love their cows. Yeah, this is an old video. I probably was in Africa for about, I don't know, 5 months. And then we went up to Limpopo. And here's some guys who make big spoons to stir big pots of food. They make a starch here, which is like a staple that everybody eats, called pap, which is like a white cornmeal. And you boil it and you stir it with that big wooden spoon, and then you whisk it with this big wooden whisk that this gentleman's making right here. And all these tools are used to make big pots. Something that if you're trying to feed a lot of people. All handmade, all hand done, craftsmanship, right? And here's our walk in the bush. Here's me jabbering on. I swear I felt like David Attenborough. You know what I mean? Like with the nature was all around me, man. And caves and hills and giant boulders and rocks and the vegetation. And then if we were always on the lookout for something like snakes or scorpions or some kind of animals. They have the little animals that curl up in a little circle when you try to touch them, like centipedes. We call them shungololos. Now here is a flower growing straight out of the rock, out of a boulder. This thing blew my mind. And it's roots like that help these boulders, break, crack, and they make smaller stones. Now I really felt like David Attenborough. Here I stumbled upon some cow dung and an African dung beetle doing its thing. And I swear I went in the full Attenborough mode. I wanted to spend all day filming this thing. I wanted to see where he pushed this ball of dung to. It was amazing, man. This little dung beetle blew my mind. Because I always see him on National Geographic and they talk about the strength of a dung beetle and how he pushes the balls and lays his eggs in these balls and one thing, blah, blah, blah. And man, amazing animals. What a little critter. The African dung beetle. I might have to get a tattoo of that. There's some kind of metaphor that's lost to me right now, but I'm sure. But that's cool though, man. And then we continued down the path through this gully. Now it wasn't. It was the dry season. It was not the rainy season. So the water was low. Actually, the water is usually much higher than it is in these photos that I'm showing you. And I couldn't even keep the camera steady while I was walking on these rocks. So you know, we're gonna have to bear with me. But the waterfalls were barely trickling, but the streams, there was enough water to take a dip. And so, we found a nice spot and jumped in, man. And it was too perfect a spot. Just you could see by reconnoitering, and I had to do some, meditating. I just felt like like the sadhus that meditate under a waterfall.